Contract manufacturing is a strategy where a company outsources the productions of its goods to a local manufacturer in a foreign country. This means the company still owns the brand and handles distribution. In simple terms, the company hires another manufacturer overseas to make its product. This helps the company reduce production costs and enter new markets more easily. There are 5 key characteristics of how contract manufacturing operates in international markets. First, reduce production costs by using cheaper labor. In the international market, companies outsource production to countries with lower labor costs such as Vietnam, Indonesia, or China. This allows them to produce goods at a lower cost while maintaining quality. For example, Nike contract manufacturers in Vietnam and Indonesia to produce its shoes at a lower cost compared to producing them in the USA. For number 2, common in electronic, textiles, and consumer goods, contract manufacturing is widely used in industry where large-scale production and standardizations are possible. These include electronic, apparel, and household goods industry. For example, Apple outsourced the productions of iPhone and iPad to Foxconn in China, a leading electronic manufacturer. Number 3, the company focuses on design and branding. The main company emphasizes innovation, design, and brand image while outsourcing the manufacturing task. This allows the company to maintain a strong global brand identity without managing production directly. For example, Apple focuses on product design and marketing, while Foxconn handles the physical production. Number 4, the contract manufacturer produces according to specification. The foreign manufacturer follows strict product specification and quality standards given by the contracting company. This ensures that all products meet the brand's global standard regardless of where they are made. For example, Nike provides detailed production guidelines to its manufacturers to ensure consistent quality and performance. Number 5, no capital investment in production facilities. The company does not need to invest in building factories or production plants overseas. Instead, it uses the facilities of local manufacturers, which save costs and reduce financial risk. For example, Nike and Apple do not own the factories that produce their goods. They rely on independent manufacturers.
For this slide, I will talk about the advantage of contract manufacturing. The first thing is definitely cost saving. Companies can reduce expenses because they use cheaper labor in other countries. Another good thing is they can avoid import tariff since the products are made locally. It also lets the company focus on their main business. For example, things like design, marketing, and R&D instead of worrying about production. And lastly, it gives flexibility, which they can easily switch to another manufacturer or increase production when demand goes up. But of course, there are also some disadvantages. One big issue is quality control, which is it's harder to monitor product standard when factories are overseas. There are also the risk of imitation, where the manufacturer might copy your product or design. Then we have reputation risk, which is if the factory has poor working conditions, it can affect the brand image. And finally, companies can become too dependent on their suppliers, which can cause delay if anything goes wrong in the supply chain. So, when we compare contract manufacturing with other entry modes, there are a few clear differences. Compared to licensing, it gives the company more control over how the product is made because they can set their own standard. If we compare it with exporting, it's usually cheaper since the goods are produced in the target country, which is no need to pay high shipping fees or import taxes. And compared to a joint venture, Contract manufacturing is less risky and doesn't require big investment, although the company might have less control over daily operation. For the real company example, we choose Nike and Apple from the USA. Nike use factories in countries like Vietnam, Indonesia and China. This allows them to focus more on their design and marketing instead of handling production themselves. By doing so, they can save costs and avoid import taxes. Meanwhile, Apple works with a company called Foxconn in China and Taiwan to produce their product. Apple still controls the design and quality, but the actual manufacturing is done by Foxconn. This strategy helps Apple produce efficiently and expand globally. So, both companies show how contract manufacturing can support growth and cost efficiency.
Here's are three main reasons why contract manufacturing is suitable for certain companies or situations. Firstly, lower production costs. Companies can produce goods at a lower cost by using cheaper labor and material in other countries. For example, Nike produces its shoes in Vietnam and Indonesia to lower production costs while maintaining quality. Next, it requires no capital investment. Companies no need to build their own factories or buy expensive equipment. This helps them reduce financial risk. For instance, Apple used Foxconn to produce fit devices without owning any factories. Lastly, it allows companies to focus on their core activities. They can concentrate on design, innovation, and marketing while manufacturers handle productions. For example, Apple focuses on product design while Foxconn takes care of the assembly process.
To conclude, contract manufacturing is actually a low-cost and low-risk way for companies to expand internationally. It lets the company focus more on design, research and marketing while production is handled by another party. But of course, it still has challenges like controlling product qualities, depending on supplier and managing reputation. As for our group reflection, we learn how important it is to choose the right entry modes in global business. Throughout this project, our teamwork and communication really improved, and everyone gave their best contribution. We'll also gain more confidence and clearer understanding of international business strategies. Thank you.